What if I told you that the rise of King Henry VIII, the power, the terror, the marriages, the executions, was not built by the king himself, but by the man he later sent to die? What if the most loyal servant in Tudor history was destroyed by the very king he created? This is the story of Thomas Cromwell, the blacksmith's son who transformed England and then paid for it with his head. Thomas Cromwell didn't come from a noble family. He wasn't born into power. He built it piece by piece using nothing but intelligence, strategy, and fearlessness. He saw what Henry wanted and delivered it every single time. Henry wanted a divorce from Catherine. Cromwell engineered the legal chaos that broke England from Rome. Henry wanted to be supreme. Cromwell crafted the laws that made the king godlike in his own kingdom. Henry wanted money. Cromwell dissolved the monasteries, bringing unimaginable wealth straight into Henry's hands. Every time Henry VIII took a step higher, Cromwell was the one lifting him. And Henry knew it. He once said Cromwell was the most faithful servant a king ever had. But Tudor loyalty never lasts. Here comes the darkest question in Tudor history. Was Anne Boleyn executed because of Thomas Cromwell? The truth is chilling. Cromwell and Anne once fought for the same thing, religious reform. But goals change, power divides. Anne wanted influence at court. Cromwell wanted control of England. When the two collided, only one could survive. Did Cromwell invent the charges? Historians still debate it. But one thing is certain: Cromwell delivered the evidence Henry needed, and once the king believed Anne had betrayed him, nothing could save her. On May 19, 1536, Anne Boleyn died by the sword, and Cromwell, at Henry's side, watched it happen, perhaps knowing that one day his own end would look terrifyingly similar. After Anne's death, Cromwell became unstoppable. Under his guidance, Henry reached the height of his power. Parliament obeyed him. The church feared him. Nobles bowed lower than ever before. England became richer, more centralized, more dangerous. And the king, Henry, stood taller because Cromwell held him up. Cromwell arranged Henry's marriages, finances, alliances. He practically ran the kingdom. But even the strongest minister in England can make one fatal mistake. Cromwell believed England needed allies, so he pushed Henry to marry Anne of Cleves, a German princess. When Henry first saw Anne, he felt disgusted. He called her a Flanders mare. The marriage humiliated Henry, and someone had to pay. Courtiers whispered, enemies circled, and the king's anger found a target: Thomas Cromwell. The same man who built the empire was suddenly accused of treason. The same king whose throne he strengthened now demanded his head. On July 28, 1540, Cromwell was dragged to Tower Hill. He begged Henry for mercy in a final letter, but mercy and Henry VIII rarely lived in the same room. As the axe rose above him, those watching swore they heard Cromwell whisper, "I have served my king faithfully." Henry never replied. The moment Cromwell died, something inside Henry broke. The king who once stood unshakable became paranoid, sick, angry, alone. Without Cromwell's mind, Henry became a shadow of the king he once was. His last years were filled with pain, fear, and regret, haunted by the ghosts of the people he had executed. And on his deathbed, many believe Henry whispered Cromwell's name, the man he should never have killed. Thomas Cromwell built England's most powerful king, and in the end, that king destroyed him. Because in Tudor England, power never protects. It only consumes.